All right, there we go. Welcome to this little chat, Torben and Markus. I have the two co-founders of Smovement here, a marketing and communication agency based in Berlin. And the cool thing is, you are one of the agencies that have found us at one of the first, actually, that started using Scripe, not only for your own content, but also for your clients. And I am super curious to hear more about how you came across Scripe, how you started to implement it in the workflows with your clients, and to learn a bit about your wins, about your learnings. But before we do that, it's of course a pleasure to meet you, and that you just quickly introduce yourself, what you do, and what movement is. And whoever wants to go first, or Marcus, can
For the
go. And
invitation. Yeah. Yeah, first of all, Markus Batta, my name, co-founder from Smovement. What is Smovement? Smovement is a social selling agency, especially for industry customers and industry services. We're starting in 2025, July last year, with our own company or build up our own company, as explained in social selling. And we're using a lot of LinkedIn. It's clear, I think, because of the fact that we are social sellers or introducing or bring up social sellers for companies. And yeah, I was before 25 years in the industry as a leader of product management and strategic marketing. And yeah, after or the last 2 years, I starting my own consultancy, and last year with Torben, we starting Movement together.
Yes, Tom Frangmann, my name. I worked in industry companies since about 10 years. Last year we founded Movement together. Before that, I worked as a marketing manager. After that, I worked as marketing lead and sales lead in the industry. And it's the focus we have. We work a lot with industry companies to get their social selling done in a holistic way. So we don't only do content, we do it from a strategic base, and then we transform it to content, to campaigning, to make it a whole game, and to make social selling more effective for industry companies.
mhm. Super interesting background, and I love it that you both have the different experiences. Before we go into what you do with movement and the different offers you have, I would be super curious why you decided to really focus on that social selling part in that industry, or in industry companies especially, and how you also educate your customers why that approach of like integrating social selling into your companies is so important nowadays, and also why it is so relevant for communication in the future.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to go
I
first.
think there are three really important things. First of all, we came from the industry. We work for the industry since 25 years in marketing and sales. So we know the lack of marketing and sales combination in this industry, or especially in industry companies. And further step or further reason is that the most of the customers looking first in the internet or using digital channels to find the right suppliers, right company for his solution or problem. So we decide to bring up industry companies to the next level in digital sales, especially
Mhm.
because we know they are most of the time using the old-fashioned marketing ways, or a lot of companies, not everybody, but a lot of companies. So, and this is our mission that we said. So this is the name Movement is like movement, sales and marketing movement combined of these two kind of words. So that's the reason that we found up Movement to help industry companies, especially in social selling. It's social selling is for us the next step from the corporate
Mhm.
influencer is to show the brand, bring up awareness. But on the end, you want to sell and to make a turnover with your products, and that's the best way to do it digitally today, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's also why we like to say people trust people, not brands. And I think you show that very well. Also, Torben, you have a quite big following on LinkedIn yourself, and you just said that you were a sales and marketing lead or were active in those different teams. Like, did you also realize that yourself then at some point that it is so important to build up your personal brand and to do social selling, or how did you have this aha moment back then?
Yes, we just realized that in our business model, it's very traditional. You go to trade fairs and you just came along new customers and so on. And in industry, it's all about personal sales, and social selling is the best way, I think, to do it in a digital way, to do personal sales in digital platforms. And LinkedIn, it's the best platform to do this. It's not the only platform. We use different platforms in the and LinkedIn in the focus, but LinkedIn is the most attractive platform to do digital sales, but in a very personal way. And that's why we use personal brands to do this sales processes and not the company profile or something. We just use the personal profiles because it's a lot more effective to do it in that way.
Mm-hmm. So I love that approach, of course, and that's very much how we think as well. So you just said you founded this movement not too long ago, then, like about 1 year ago, am I right? Yes. So you built up your whole playbook, help them or help your clients a lot with the strategy part, but also on some end on the execution part. Maybe you can just take us along like the early days of this movement, like how you built up your framework and how you started to work with companies before you started to integrate to Scripe. Like, how is or was your offer back then?
Yeah, I think I have a lot of more struggle as Torben did to create content, because I was 10 years ago a leader and doesn't make my own content. This was a part of my team. And for me, it was really difficult to have a strategic content plan. So Torben helps me up with this point. And in the beginning, we're using some tools like planning tools to create content, but you have to create your own content completely alone. And I'm not a copywriting expert too, so that was not so difficult, not so easy for me. And we are looking forward for a really good solution, especially an easy to use solution with a helping hand from AI. And I found out Scribe because of, I have no idea, a podcast or a advertise. No, it was not an ad. Was I think a post,
Probably not. We did know as.
a post or a podcast. Doesn't know it well. And I heard this name and told to Torben, hey, there's a tool outside named Scribe and it's looking for a really cool solution. And yeah, this was the beginning to work with your solution, your tool, and using Scribe in our process now.
Mm-hmm. Do you
Yes.
want to add something on that?
Yes. I think we were really good from the beginning on in content strategy. So we had a very good process to do a positioning for each social seller and put it into a content strategy. That was it's a bit of our USP, but it's very difficult for us and for customers to put it into content operations, to do this strategy work and let it real results in LinkedIn posts. And we just needed a tool, not just a planning tool, a tool who helps us to transform this strategy in real LinkedIn posts. And it's where Markus came up to me and said, hey, I think I have a really cool tool. Let's try it. And yeah, now here we are.
Yeah, and we started in the beginning with our own profiles, especially mine, I think, to test the tool, to say, okay, it's a cool tool for a customer. Is it difficult to use, especially when you are came from a industry they are not so experienced with digital solution, especially in sales and creating content. And if you're talking with marketing managers or sales managers in the industry, they are not so the experts in digital tools sometimes. So, and we tested on my profile and Torben's profile on the end. And after, I think, 4 or 6 weeks, we decided to bring up our first customers to this platform. And the feedback was really, really surprising on the first. On the second, they are really said, "Oh, we found the right tool for me," because they have the same problems like me with copywriting and so on. And we can plan really good strategic content plans on the end with our customers now. And at the end, we have more than, I have no idea, 25, 30 social seller now on the platform.
Amazing.
Works really well.
Yeah, you brought us. Amazing. So you now have a real workflow, like after you tested it yourself, you have a real workflow to also work with them in their in their Scripe workspace. They're integrated into their workspaces, basically. Could you explain a little bit how that works and how it works from like onboarding your clients to Scripe and then working together with them on an ongoing basis?
Sure. Yeah, as I said, we do the content strategy in a workshop format, and after that, we do an onboarding for every social seller where we set up the Scribe profile, we set up the workspace. We are both integrated in that workspace so that we can collaborate with the customer in their profiles, and then we do just everything in the tools. So we do the content planning, we do the editorial planning, and we do the content production, and also the publishing in LinkedIn. So a social seller can plan the content with us together in meetings. We can do content interviews. We have some social sellers who do it on his or her own, and we are the sparring partner to plan this content. Then we can do comments. We can say, hey, at this point you can do it like that. Then we can just collaborate on the posts, and so they plan it week for week. And we are in that workspace together to make sure that our strategy is really going places in the operational. Yes.
So it's really also that they take it seriously and then you can evolve. And
Yes.
I mean, it's hard to say probably like what is the before and after effect, because I guess you started to use Scribe kind of along the way when you also like how you or when you started to kind of get on new clients. But can you see or kind of measure is maybe hard, like a different efficiency also for your clients? To some extent, or to see how many posts they actually post
Yeah, especially the
with
biggest
using
benefit
Scribe.
is efficiency, I think,
Mm-hmm.
from our point and from the point of the customer view. Because if you compare to the past, we had to decide and to create every single content piece with the customer
Mm-hmm.
directly to say, okay, we have to create a plan weekly or monthly with the customer to create every content piece and picture and text. Especially texting is the most
Mm-hmm.
difficult point for the most of our customers. And then we said, okay, we have a collaboration tool now. We create, or the customer create, we comment, and so we can work together on a good plan for our customers. And at the end, we win a lot of efficiency. I think more than twice
Wow. Mm-hmm.
with every customer we had. So now we onboarding every new customer on the platform, so it's no
Mm-hmm.
comparison anymore. But on the end, yeah, efficiency is the biggest benefit, I think, for the customers and the copywriting skills.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and to add that, my biggest vision for a tool using for an AI-based tool was we wanted to gain efficiency, and we wanted 100% quality content. And that's the big difference to every other tool or just simply using ChatGPT or something. There's no reduction in content quality. So we probably save up 50 or 60% time, but with 100% content quality. And that's the biggest gain.
And the good thing too is you have the possibility to change everything with the AI chat. So if you have a problem or you doesn't like what you see or what you get, you can change it with 2 comments, 3 comments. This is what I'm doing every time because I use my own style, but it's really, really easy only to text in a change the text like every time I do. So, and I think that's really, really cool tool for our customers too. So, and it's not sounds like AI, not on at the end. I think that's the best point.
I'm very happy to hear it. So you already mentioned a few favorite features or few favorite values. What I would also love to learn, because you had kind of mentioned a couple of times that you're the expert in the strategy. So for people listening, what would you say is the thing that you always tell your customers when they start working with you? What are the key, maybe the 3 key most important things that you want people to understand before they start to use Scribe?
Don't pay your bills. Um, yeah, we often work with industrial companies, so that's not
Mhm,
the brands who make a million views or something. It's like you have niche content, you want to attract some really niche customers, and to attract these people, you have to do very specific content for their problems, for their needs, to do directly in their attention. And you don't have to go viral with a post. You just need to attract the
yeah.
right people with your content.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
a good point. Yeah. Another point is that we said have to focus on content quality and how many times you posting, because the frequency is really important too for the algorithm. So this is another point that we can fix really cool with Scribe, because there is no lack of time anymore for the customer and for us to create content in this way. And I think that's another point we talking about or with our customers every time is the positioning, lack of time most of the time for our customers and us, and the quality on the end, quality, time,
Hmm.
and efficiency. Yeah, and this is what
Hmm.
Scribe help us a lot at the end. Yeah.
Very happy to hear. Very happy to hear. No, I think it's really like having a good foundation, and that's what you do with your clients is so, so important. And then, of course, putting that into a framework that keeps that efficiency running. So we talked a lot about before and after how you work now. If you look a bit ahead, for you as an agency, but also like being the best agency for your clients, where do you see yourself with a tool like Scribe, of course, in the next couple of months and years? And where do you maybe also see where is the content game going, and why is it so relevant that people start now?
Okay, at the end, I see me at the beach with $1 million, but that's another story. Uh, no, I think the most important thing is the quality of the content have to be most important, because it's
Mhm,
a lot of content outside, AI content especially. And if you compare, I use Scribe now more than a half year, and nobody knows, and nobody react at this content worst or giving a feedback that is not my normal type of content. So that shows me at the end my postings working, or my process is working, that there is no difference between my copywriting skills and Scribe copywriting skills. Okay, I'm not the absolutely expert, but Torben is, and there's no comments about the coming content at the moment that there's using AI or whatever. And I think at the end you have to play the game, because everybody is digital. We have a move in the generation of leaders and thought leaders in companies, especially in Germany and all around the world. And if you doesn't go with this trends, yeah, you will lose a lot of customers or lose a lot of opportunities at the end for your business. And it's not important if you're a coach trainer or you're an industry company, you have to go digital at the end, or you have to make digital content. And for me, I think video content will come up more and more, but you need a good mix between video, text, and all the other stuff you can use or yeah, use for your content creation. And I think for Scribe, I'm really excited, and I think that all of our customers doesn't want to create content without this tool in the future.
Just to add something, just as Markus said, we have a big content overload nowadays. So it's not about to just say, oh, we are now so efficient, we can just do the double content. No, it's all about content quality. We have to do better content. And that's where the future goes. So we don't just want to be social selling consultants. We want to build up a social selling engine for the customers. So you have this engine that helps you to be not just more efficient, to be more in quality. You have content that really came up and attract customers in all this content overload. You have to be the one who is the bit better than all the others to position as that. And there are ways to do that, but you have to find these ways with a good content strategy and then to operationalize that in good content operations. So
Couldn't agree more. And maybe before we end, because you just both mentioned that the kind of it is so important to start now and that quality is so important. Maybe a quick 3 tips on how you as an agency found the best way in the ongoing process. How do you set up that content engine? How is it like, do you have regular calls with them, or do you send them questions on like voice notes that they have to record? What is like the ongoing process that you have with your clients to really get them to this big important next goal they have, like to stay relevant in the next couple of years on the digital channels?
There are 2 different ways, depends on the status of the company in social selling. Sometimes the company is using LinkedIn as a channel for brand building or whatever. Then we optimize these steps for the company to grow and to find the right leads on this platform. On the other way, if the company is starting from scratch, we have a kickstart workshop to bring them up or to learn with the company what kind of content is really important on LinkedIn, why is the quality so important, what kind of tools you can use for this platform, and especially in AI because of the efficiency effect. And on the next step, we bring up, or we have your fixes every week or every month, depends on the level of the company, and bring them up with or help them with content ideas, content planning, strategy, next steps for sales. What is the next step you sell to your customer? Because or you explained before, human is a human sales. So and this is what the customer learn by us. Don't to be too selly on the end. And that's one point.
Yes, and to add something, especially at the beginning on the work after the content strategy, do more meetings. So there's a very good way to have a weekly talk with a social seller and record that talk, load it up, and create content out of these talks.
In Scripe, you mean?
Yes, in Scripe. Because not every talk is a Hollywood talk, but it's a learning process for both sides, for us, for the customer, and along this learning journey, you can maybe do it in a monthly way, but at the beginning, it's really, really important to do it in a weekly way, to just set things up, learn from another, learn to do the good content, create results, and analyze them to make better content along these results, and then you can set things up.
So basically have, after the strategy part, you have regular calls with them, like interviews where you ask them specific questions, and these are then the interviews you upload to Scripe, and this is the input then for their posts that they create out of it.
Yeah,
nice.
We have different packages and different kind of level we support the customer on the end. If they have the typical most sold package from us, and they have a weekly year fix, a monthly training about content or selling or whatever. So that at the end, normally, if the customer working with us a half year ago, they are absolutely professional social seller. That's our
That's
focus
the
at the
goal.
end, that they can do everything at his own without us as the company, and using Scripe further for his content and content planning on.
Nice. Anything you want to add to that, Torben? I think we got a lot of actionable insight.
Nothing to add.
Nothing to add. So I hope that you're just the two of you, right?
For now,
Or
yes.
do you have for now? So next step is to
Big plans.
big plans, and Scribe will make you more efficient. You will create like even more efficient workflows for your clients. And I'm very, very happy that you found us, Markus, over a podcast or a LinkedIn post. And has been great to work with you and also to learn from you, like what can we do on the product side and on how we onboard agencies and consultants to help you even more to have the best experience for your customers. So it has been a wonderful win-win situation, and I'm looking very forward to what's to come. Any closing words from your end?
Yeah, from my side, Scripe is a really cool tool. I think one of the best tools I used in the last half year. We test a lot, especially in content creation. In content creation, it's for me the best tool at the moment on the market. Absolutely. It's the feedback from our customer too.
Very
Yes.
happy to hear.
I'm not the biggest AI fan, I think, but Markus came up with to me with that tool, and I was okay, let's try it. And I just have to say, I work with Scribe on a daily basis, and not just 5 minutes. I work on it really on a daily basis, and I love it. And I think it's the most used tool for us right now. So
Wow.
I think that's enough.
Thank you. I'm very, very happy. And thank you so much for your time. Great learnings that we got in those last minutes. And yeah, you will find all the details about this movement in the descriptions. And I'm looking very forward to catching up very soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yeah.